do this video for 20 years. And I think finally, the technology is in a place that I can actually do this video and do it justice. I'm Dane Reed, and I'm a PC user. Throughout the 20 years that I've been in voiceover, I have produced thousands of projects, all with a PC. But when I go online, when I go to the forums, when I go to the Facebook groups and stuff, I still see people, especially people who are just starting in voiceover, who ask the question, do I need a Mac in order to do voiceover? And the answer is, I'm gonna skip to the end, no, absolutely not. Voiceover is something that you can easily produce, really, literally on anything. Look, I'm a cross-platform guy, okay, across all of my technology, and I love technology, okay? I use an Android phone, another Android phone. I have a fake iPhone for when I travel so that, you know, in case I need to distract someone, just toss it to them and whatever. I use a PC. I use a Dell. But I also have an iPad. And previously, I actually also used to use a Mac for about 2 years. I've always had a PC. I've always produced on a PC, but I also used to do video editing on a Mac. So I know what the Mac experience is like, and I know what the PC experience is like. And I know that if you've used a PC 5-10 years ago, oh my gosh, you were in for a frustrating situation. Blue screens of death, freezing, viruses, all kinds of things, compatibility issues. Well, if you haven't used a PC in a really long time, I'm here to tell you that everything that you knew about a PC is absolutely wrong. You know, I think about a lot of the compatibility issues that have happened. You know, for instance, Source Connect. Source Connect had 3.8 and 3.9, and 3.9 was more advanced. Now there's a 4.0 that's compatible with your PC. The key, I think, in terms of selecting a PC is getting an Intel-based PC. You can get an Intel-based, an AMD-based, or now you can get a Qualcomm-based, which is based on the same kind of architecture that modern Macs are built on. But of course, I think, you know, these older ideas of what the PC experience is makes it hard for people to say, I'll go back, or, you know, I'll just go for a Mac. You know, there were problems with freezing. There were problems with malware. But the beautiful thing about what's happened is competition from the Mac side, from the Linux side, has made it so that PCs have had to step up their game. And so I'm one of those guys that stuck with a lot of the problems and the malware. Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't even need to get, like, you know, Norton or whatever antivirus if you get a PC. It's actually built into the software. Windows Defender is built into the software, and it actively looks for known threats. And the way that new PCs are built with AI software, the AI actively scans your computer to make sure that there's no code that appears to be malicious or that's out of tune with your PC. That actually makes it safer than a Mac, because Macs don't do that. But what you're gonna say to me is that Macs don't get malware, you just toss them off. Well, actually that's completely incorrect. And because of that premise, a lot of Mac users actually actively have malware on their computers because they think, oh, what they've always heard and believed. It's actually not true. Actually, here's a list of malware that is actively known on Macs. Trust me, I'm not trying to destroy Macs or anything like that. I had good experiences and bad experiences dealing with my Mac, especially the Intel Macs. If I went off of the reputation of an Intel Mac, my gosh, right? Because basically these are the people who made the chips. And the same problems that were going on with PCs in terms of overheating, making a lot of noise, are the same things that I experienced when I owned a Mac. But Apple did something amazing in 2020. They developed their own chip based on ARM technology. I know I'm going off and I'm being extra technical and stuff, but this chip was so revolutionary and so far ahead of its time that it forced the whole industry to start looking into more efficient, battery saving, more powerful ways to run your computer. And that trickled down into the PC world. And now we have some amazing stuff going on. When it comes to VoiceOver, it does not take a lot of computing power to run DAWs nowadays. What are you using? Adobe Audition? I mean, that does not take a lot. The truth of the matter is, you can record on things like your phone, which I've done. You can record on things like your iPad, which I've done. You don't need a lot. And there are a lot of people who are, for instance, running free software. I mean, free software does not take a lot. Adobe Audition, Audacity, Pro Tools, all of these things can be run off of literally any computing device nowadays with no problem. No problem at all. So if you're concerned whether you should have a Mac or a PC, get what you want. Get what makes you feel comfortable. Get the system that you like. I've always used a PC because I like Windows better than I like Mac OS. But the truth of the matter is, in terms of hardware, I think Mac has the best hardware. You can run things off of a MacBook Air nowadays. It's super powerful. And with PCs, there are a lot of great PCs. Like I said, I run a Dell XPS. It's an awesome computer. Dell has a bunch of stuff. Asus has a bunch of great stuff. Lenovo has a bunch of great stuff. So don't worry about what computer you get unless you are loyal to software. No matter what you get, just make sure if it is Mac OS, get what you want. If it's PC, I know it gets a little confusing. What chip? Get an Intel-based chip that says Core Ultra, not Core Ultra i7. If it has an I in it, it's an old. Get Core Ultra. That's it. Intel Core Ultra, you'll be good. These computers are quiet, they're fast, they're very competitive with Mac. They're usually cheaper. Nowadays, it's a good time to be living in our technological age. So, rock with PCs. Whatever you thought you knew is probably not true. And let's make some great stuff, I've made some awesome commercials over the years, and some of my clients have told me that I have the best sound that they've heard. All from a Windows PC. I'm Dane Reed. This has been your PC commercial. And I'm gone.